Hey guys, Lizardlea here for Monster Hunter Deviljho. hmm I googled it. So m- I looked at it and I was like, Deviljho. And I was like, I'm not gonna pronounce that right. Google says it's pronounced Ibiru. Okay, so evil instead of devil. So I guess the D is silent, or it was added to the English version, and apparently this was either originally Japanese or it's based off of Japanese. I don't know. I have no idea. But Joe in Japanese and savage is something like angry eating evil Joe or angry hungry evil Joe. Huh, okay. Um this is what he looks like. Big green dude. I don't play Monster Hunter, so like David has played it a little bit, but my friend Scott plays it a lot. And so I found this pattern one day and I was like, handsome man, would Scott like this? And this person, Evan Star Crafts Co. on Etsy, has a package of 12 patterns, and I bought all of them, so I might do all of them. We'll see. Um, Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So I got all the 12 and David was like, yeah, this one would be his favorite. So I'm gonna do it first. Hopefully he'll wake up by the time I'm ready to finish and then I can be like, would he like all 12? Would he like only 4? Like, give me an idea here. Because I don't know. I don't know Monster Hunter. I wore a really freaking badass shirt though. Okay, I got nothing else. I'm gonna go cross stitch now.
David isn't here right now, so I had to go back to previous videos and find the last time we were going over random questions and figure out what one we were on. And the last one was the app you can't believe someone hasn't made yet, and I have nothing. So, the next question. 97. When was the last time you face palmed? Um, Oh, so I was with work recently. I was asked to pull a bunch of invoices, and then I was asked to, uh, cause it was for an audit, and I was asked to let them know what bank statement the payment was shown on. You know, if we made a payment to David on January 3rd, I had to find the payment of that on the January bank statement. And if it wasn't on there, I had to figure out where it was or whatnot. And one of them was a credit memo. And that means that the people just gave us a credit memo. You know, it's essentially like, oh, sorry, we screwed up. The next time you owe us this amount of money, put it towards this credit memo. You don't actually owe it. You know, so like if you give someone a $20 credit memo and they owe you $40, they will take that $20 of the credit memo and they will only give you $20. They'll give you half, or they'll give you the remaining. I should not have done half. If you owe someone $60 and they gave you a $20 credit memo, you only have to pay them $40, okay? And so the full amount was a credit memo. And I spent a good 15-20 minutes trying to find it on this bank statement. And I got really frustrated and I texted my boss. Well, I didn't text her, I slacked her. And I was like, hey, I have a question when you have some time. And she was like, oh, I know, can I wait until this time? And I was like, yeah, not a problem. And then I took a little bit of a break and then I reviewed it again. And I was like, wait a minute. It's a credit memo. It will never be on the bank statement because we didn't have to actually pay it. It was a credit memo. So that was like a major facepalm for me because, like, in hindsight, yeah, that was obvious. I shouldn't have even looked at a bank statement in reference to that one. the moment I realized it was attached to a credit memo. The main issue that made it even more confusing, though, was I think it was like $210 was the amount, and on the bank statement to that same customer, it was $220. There was a charge, and it was the same day. So I was just like, man, where is this $10 coming from? Eventually, I got out of the individual invoice and I went to the customer file in our program, and I saw a credit memo for 210, and I saw a separate invoice for 220. And I was like, yes, it's the same customer, but these two are completely unrelated, and I'm just a dum-dum. I'm still a little embarrassed. I'm still kind of dumb, but it's fine. It's fine. 98. If you were given $5 million to open a small museum, what kind of museum would you create? Wait, does it have to be stuff that I put on display? Or do I just, like, pick the thing and that's what we fill it with? Because either way, I'm not sure what my answer is. I mean, I feel like the obvious answer would be dragons. And I would go through that museum, like, once a month at least, just to enjoy the dragons. But, you know, I mean, gotta be honest, I love cross-stitching. And if we ever go, like, to the swap meet or a thrift store, and there is a framed cross-stitch, I always get in close and look at it. Whether I really like the picture or not, you know, like, it could be a picture of, I don't know, what's a show that I don't like the art style for? Adventure Time. I don't know if I actually like the show or not, you guys. I've never really given it a shot because I don't like the art style. But, although I wouldn't buy it, if I saw an Adventure Time cross-stitch somewhere, I'd freaking get up on top of it and check it out. I love the technique that goes into cross-stitching. I love cross-stitching. And having just all kinds of cross stitches on display would be so cool. You know, you'd get to see the different techniques. You could see, I mean, heck, you could get a pattern and have 3 different people stitch it, and I guarantee you none of them would be the exact same. And not only because of human error. So, like, if we take that out and we assume that these people will do it perfectly to the pattern, they still will not be the same because everybody stitches differently. You know, some people do my method and do, you know, try at least and do one color for the entire piece or at least an entire page. You get other people who do the, oh gosh, what is it called? It's not the hanging method, it's the parking method. I don't know why hanging is what I said, but the parking method, where you have a billion threads and you're just doing all of it and you're just slowly progressing from, you know, one side or one corner to the opposite. And, like, I think those ones are my favorite to see work in progress pictures for, just because, like, it goes together so in just such a cool way. Like, with mine, it's never done until I finish the final stitch, versus with the parking method, you see, you know, like, squares, you know, like, if you start from the top left and you move your way to the bottom right, the top left eventually is complete and you have the image. Versus with mine, you know, if there's a color in each spot, you know, like, if I leave white for last, there just won't be any white until I'm done. Like, it's just, I don't know if I'm making any sense. But the different methods, if you get in close and you know what you're looking for, you can see the differences. And then there's also just the simple fact of, if you do, like, so if you're looking at the screen right now, my first stitch is always from the bottom left corner to the top right corner, or the top right corner to the bottom left. I always do, what is that, a forward slash? I always say them backwards. I I think it's a no. I think it's a forward slash. It's like what you would do when you Google something. You know, if you did HTTP colon slash slash, those are the two slashes that I do. Other people do the opposite. They'll start from the top left and the bottom right. Inherently, that is already going to make it look different. And then you could have people who do one full stitch every single time that they go. I try to move from left to right so that the rows are all done at once. So yeah, like everybody works differently, and I really like how everything comes out with that. You know, you can have the same piece, but it's never going to look the exact same as someone else's. And I really appreciate that. But then, you know, you have cross stitch, and depending on how big of a piece you're willing to do, it's going to get so incredibly detailed that you won't even be able to tell that deep down it's actually just pixels, you know, teeny tiny little squares of X's. Oh, I've been talking for way too long about this. I'm so sorry, you guys. 99. Oh, is that what I'm on? Yeah. 99. Which of your vices or bad habits would be the hardest... Excuse me. Which of your vices or bad habits would be the hardest to give up? Well, I don't think cross-stitching is a vice or a bad habit. I think ultimately it's a good habit because it helps my mental health so much. But a bad habit. I mean, I love dessert, and I know that is a bad habit. Like, I just constantly want to eat dessert. I will say, for anyone that is concerned, I'm around 140 pounds. Like, I'm doing significantly better than when I was working at Ross and depressed and eating fast food constantly. I'm doing so much better, but I still love dessert. And whether it's going to make me gain weight or not, you know, it's like it's not your cholesterol and your arteries and all these other things that happen when you eat things that are really bad for you. Yada, yada, yada. What other vices or bad habits do I have? I am very anti-confrontational. Why do I keep yawning? I had a really long day at work. It was really busy. But I don't feel tired, but I can't stop yawning. Anyways, I'm very non-confrontational. Like, it takes a lot to get me to say something to someone if something is bothering me. It's really difficult for me because I'm always just like on edge thinking, you know, like if I tell this person that this upsets me or bothers me, are they going to take that seriously? Is it going to make a difference? Is it worth me, you know, bringing up this grief to ultimately get what I hope is going to happen? And sometimes the answer is no, where I'm just like, nope. Yeah, you know, like, especially because there are times when it's like this person knows that this word or this phrase or, you know, whatever it is that they do, they know that it upsets me. And they continue to do it. If I continue to tell them it bothers me, they're probably just going to continue to do it because they want to pick on me and they think it's funny versus they don't realize that, like, I am genuinely upset about this. Or, you know, like, am I going to tell them this upsets and offends me and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I had no idea, that was not my intention, I'm so sorry, and they're just going to be like so upset and then so nervous around me that they're going to change their behaviors permanently in other ways. I don't know. Like, I worry a lot, you know, anxiety and all that. It's fun. Woohoo. But yeah, I do think it would be a good idea for me to be more comfortable with confrontation. But yeah, that's going to be one of the hardest ones to give up. I don't know. I rambled a lot on that one. I apologize. 100. What really needs to be modernized? Internet. I'm not kidding you. Like, it's so crappy. Especially with COVID. Like, I feel like our internet goes down a lot, and it's very frustrating. Or even if it doesn't go out, it slows down a lot, and there's no reason for it to do that other than that the internet companies want to be brats about it. Or maybe I'm being weird. I don't know. What else needs to be modernized? American healthcare. Because I feel like we're in the dark ages with how it is. That's my commentary for the day. 101. When was the last time you slept more than 9 hours? Let me see if my Fitbit has anything that high. 9 hours. Wow. I feel like, 8.5. Wow, that's a lot for me. I average around 7 hours. So, here we go. May 2nd, I apparently slept for exactly 9 hours. Oh, wait, no, it says more than 9 hours. Oh, but you want to know the reason I slept for 9 hours on May 2nd? I only slept for 3 hours and 47 minutes on May 1st. Eight, 4. Oi, oi, oi. 8, 7, 6. Oh, here we go. March 13th, I apparently slept for 9 hours and 24 minutes. But I had major wake up times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So I probably woke up, had to go to the bathroom, or, had a nightmare or something, and it disrupted me enough that my body was like, nope, need to sleep even longer to make up for that. So yeah, it does not happen to me very often. Also, by the way, of me recording this, it is May 20th. For anybody that's thinking about what my timeline is, I don't know. So yeah, I usually get 7 or less hours of sleep. 102. Oops, did I skip one? No, I didn't. How comfortable are you speaking in front of large groups of people? Not very. 103. What's your worst example of procrastination? I mean, the only one I can think of isn't actually procrastination. So, my freshman year of high school, I was in Vegas, and I was getting ready to go to bed, and I was talking to my mom about a project I was excited for my English class, where we were tasked with creating a game out of a book we'd read. And my mom was like, oh, that sounds really cool. When is it due? And I was like, oh, it's not for another month. I went to find my syllabus, and it said tomorrow. And I was just like, wait, what? It's due tomorrow? And you guys, I don't know what wires got crossed, but legitimately in my planner, I put it down for the next month. So I wasn't procrastinating. I was thinking, in my head, I was thinking a month ahead of what I wanted to do. But it was the night before. And I was like, holy crap. I had been planning on, I think I was in the middle of reading a new book. And that's what I was planning on trying to do my game for, because I thought that would be the most interesting, and it'd be something new for me, which would be cool. But alas, it was the night before. And so I was like, okay, I went through the books that I had, and I read, there was one I had read a couple years ago, but I loved the book so much. And I want to say, let me get this. It was I don't know if it was the same author, but this book that I have in front of me, The Sword of Shannara by Terry Brooks, or Shannara, I apologize if I said that wrong. It wasn't this book. At least I don't think it was. Long ago, the wars of ancient evil had ruined the world and forced mankind to compete with many other races gnomes, trolls, dwarves, and elves. But in peaceful, shady Vale, half elven Shay Omsford knew little of such troubles. Then came the giant, forbidding. Okay, sorry. This is really hard to read because it's very, very old and screwed up. Then came the giant, forbidding Alanon, possessed of strange druidic powers, to reveal that the supposedly dead warlock lord was plotting to destroy the world. The sole weapon against this power of darkness was the sword of Shannara, which could only be used by a true heir of Shannara. On Shay, last of the bloodline, rested the hope of all races. Soon a skullbearer, dread minion of evil, flew into the Vale, seeking to destroy Shay. To save the Vale, Shay flees, drawing the skullbearer after him. Thus begins the seemingly hopeless quest of a simple man against the greatest power of evil the world has ever known. It's not that book. It's not this book. I know it's not. I would recognize it. But the picture on the cover was very much the same style. And I guess this was actually a really popular style back in like the 70s and 80s, wasn't it? I don't know, when did this book come out? Are there any dates in here? 1977, yep, 70s and 80s, I was right. So, anyways, it was a book I had read a couple years prior, and I really enjoyed it. And I was like, this is something I can just skim through really quickly right now, and I'll be able to get what I need in order to make the game. And my mom and I, because my mom stayed up for a lot of the night helping me with it. She did not do all of it. Every single thing we did, I had a hand in. She had ideas and she helped me, but there wasn't anything she did on her own. I think she had read the book, but it was like a long time. You know, it was like she read that book when she was in high school, you know? And we planned it out. I was like, okay, you know, it's going to be like a turn-based dice game. You're going to have cards, and it was for my English class. And one of the things on it was that, you know, someone who has read the book should be able to play your game. And so I made questions that, you know, if you'd read the book, you could answer them. And then because it's also an English class, I took vocabulary words. I literally flipped through it and I just looked for really big words. Some of them I was like, I know what that is off the top of my head. There were others where I was like, context clues in the sentence, I can figure out what it says. And then there were others where I was like, nope, even reading the sentence, I don't know what that word means. And so, you know, I wrote a bunch of cards, and my mom and I went to Walmart, I think it was, and bought like a foam board. We bought little fences, you know, like for a little display, I guess, kind of. A miniature set, basically. That actually might have been from Michael's. Maybe? I don't know. I don't remember what time this was all at. So if Michael's was open, I'm sure we went to Michael's. We got paint. We got little... they weren't chess pieces, but they looked like pawns. You know, it was just a big ball for the head and a kind of a pedestal to hold it up. And I treated those as the player characters. And we just really simplistically painted them, and we were like, no, this is the elf character, this is the dwarf or whatever. And then one of them, I was like, if you're playing this game and you screw up in the wrong spot, you know, you're gonna meet the boss, or, you know, the bad guy of the book or whatever. And I painted him black, and I gave him a little cape. I still have that piece somewhere. Like, that was the one thing I remember I specifically kept from that game because I was really happy with it. We made a nice tower for the end, because that's what the goal was they were getting towards this tower. And so, you know, the first one to reach the tower wins the game, basically. And yeah, I worked my butt off. My mom worked her butt off. We got it done. I got to sleep. It had to have been like 7 or 8 when we started talking about it. And then it was like, nope, we're staying up more for a while. And But we got it done. I brought it in the next day, and looking at other people's, I was like, mine's about average. Like if you were to dump me into this room and not tell me anything about these games, I would be drawn to several other ones first. But just because it looks like fun does not mean it actually is fun. I mean, I don't think any of them would have been fun because they were based off of books for an English class, but she gave me a C. And to this day, I'm really, really bitter about it because she asked me, with the questions in your game, could someone who has not read the book play the game? And I was like, no. And then she was just like, C, and she moved on. And you guys, I pointed it out earlier. It said in the syllabus that this game is meant for someone who has read the book. Why would I make it for anyone if it's supposed to be for people who have read the book? Really? You're gonna drop me 2 letter grades because I followed the syllabus? And looking back, even back then, anti-confrontational, I just accepted it. If that had happened, you guys, in my senior year, I would have been like, no. And if the teacher had been like, nope, that's what's happening, I would have pulled them aside after class and pulled out the syllabus and read it to them. It says this book should be played by someone, should be able to be played by someone who has read the book. And if they were like, oh, well, that was a misprint, it should say has not, I'd be like, well, that's not what you gave me. That is not in the rules. And if they kept pushing it, and they wouldn't make me, they wouldn't have given me a better grade that reflected the syllabus I was given, I would have brought it up to the dean. You don't screw me over like that. But, as a freshman, and it was my first semester too, it was just like, oh, okay. And I got home and I told my mom, and my mom was pissed, and she's like, you need to bring it up with her. You need to tell her. So, yeah. But yeah, I guess I procrastinated, but I literally misunderstood the due date. I don't know. Maybe it was, due March 4th, and I thought it was due April 3rd. Maybe that's what it was. I'm not sure. I know that I thought I had way more time, and I didn't. But I got it done. I'm the kind of person that, if I hadn't finished it, I would have been like, Mom, can you call me in sick? And I will literally spend all of my sick day working on it. And if it's an A-B day, I will bring it in on the wrong day and just be like, I promise you I finished this, but I was really sick. That's the kind of person that I am. But that's the only time that ever happened. I always got my work done. Because, can you I guess you can procrastinate on your own stuff. You procrastinate on folding laundry or whatever, but I can't really think of any examples of that other than just the regular ones that everyone has. So we're just going to stick with that one. And I'm going to take 5 minutes, go look through my books really fast, and see if I can find the one I did. I'll be right back. Okay, yeah, no, sorry, I couldn't find it. Admittedly, I didn't spend a ton of time looking, but whatever. I, however, did find The Elfstones of Shannara, which is the sequel to the book The Sword of Shannara. And I have read both of those. It was a long time ago. Middle school, high school for me. Well, no, it had to have been middle school because I did that project for high school, and I read those books all around the same time, which was prior to high school. But yeah, that's how, I don't know. I'm going to move on now. 104. Who has zero filter between their brain and mouth? all the people I can think of are famous, and you already know them, so we're just going to move on. 105. What was your most recent lie? What have I lied about recently? I don't know. I'm really trying to think, and I don't know. I got nothing. 106. When was the last time you immediately regretted something you said? I mean, I find myself regretting a lot of what I say at work during like our little accounting huddles, just because you're watching my channel. I suffer from word vomit. It's not necessarily that I regret that I've said something. You know, like if there's a particular thing that I'm like, oh man, I shouldn't have said that. You know, like that was embarrassing, or that was stupid, or I could get in trouble. It's just this is something I could have said in 2 sentences, but I'm on my 5th one and I'm still not done. That's the kind of time when I'm like, I need to just shut up. So, you know, I regret saying too much. I regret oversharing, if that's the right way to put that. I'm honestly not sure. I'm not good at just saying something succinctly and moving on. There we go. 107. What would be the best thing you could reasonably expect to find in a cave? Stalagmites? Honestly? Like, I love caves. They're beautiful. So, finding stalagmites would be awesome to me because they're gorgeous. Now, stalactites could have the potential to fall on you and impale you, and that's terrifying. So, not the best. But I mean, like, if it's something that they're implying is not naturally there, the best thing, a live person who isn't gonna kill you. I don't know. I don't think you're gonna find buried treasure in a cave. Like, that's just, statistically, it's probably not gonna happen. 108. What did you think was going to be amazing, but turned out to be horrible? I'm sure there are plenty of movies that I thought would be amazing that weren't. Thought was going to be amazing, but turned out to be horrible. I don't know. Are there any movies recently that I really wanted to see that I didn't like? I mean, I thought that the DC movies were going to be good, but then every single review and almost every single person I've met has been like, no, they're crap. So I didn't see them. Like, I can't say, in my opinion, that they're crap, but, you know, the consensus is generally that they're not liked. And, like, the Justice League, when it's done right, is amazing. And they can all be really good and they can all shine. But apparently not so much in the way that they did it. Like, my thing is, if you really want to go dark with the Justice League, you should just do the version, what was it, Flashpoint? Wonder Woman was evil, Aquaman was evil, and they were, like, together. Superman had been captured by, you know, like, the military, and was being experimented on, basically. Terrifying. Let's see, in that version, I believe Batman, I think Bruce Wayne died, his dad became Batman, and his mom became the Joker. Like, I think if you want to go dark, just lean into the ones that are already dark. Yeah, okay, maybe fans of the comics and the originals or whatever, or excuse me, people who are not fans of the originals won't understand why these people are evil, but who cares? If you want to be dark, just go dark. Like, that's one of the fun things about comics is there are so many alternate universes and so many different things you can do. You're not held down by one timeline. 109. What bit of trivia do you know that is very interesting but also very useless? Oh, I mean, I know a lot of Disney facts. That doesn't mean they're useful. um, Bit of trivia, do you know? It's very interesting. I don't know. I'm not good at this. I'm sorry. 110. What's the silliest thing you've seen someone get upset about? Um. Oh my goodness. Okay, the one that has always made me angry, which thankfully I haven't had to deal with in years, but I remember having some girlfriends who they'd be like, you know, Liz and Amy, you guys were really mean to me in my dream last night. I'm not going to talk to you until you apologize. I legitimately had someone say that to me once, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not apologizing because it was your stupid dream. I had no control over it. If you think I'm that mean, why are you friends with me? Like, and they'll acknowledge that it was a dream, but they are still mad at you. What? Are you kidding me? No, that is not my problem. That is something you need to deal with on your own time. I'm not apologizing to you for what your subconscious does to you. No, that's your own problem. 111. What animal or plant do you think should be renamed? What's one where the name doesn't make any sense? Like, I mean, it makes sense. You have red panda. It's red, and it's like a fluffy little tiny panda. What are some of the... I'm trying to think, because there's one that it's just like, it's not that. It has 3 things in the name, and it's none of them. It's a specific animal. What is it? Oh my gosh. It. I don't know. Let me see if I can Google it. What animal? Oops. Name makes no sense. Animals with misleading names. Okay, let's see if any of these are on here. Bear cat, electric eel, red panda. No. I like their names. They're perfect. King cobra, mountain goat, killer whale, honey badger, mantis shrimp, American buffalo, flying lemur, maned wolf, horny toad, koala bear. Lots of animals with fish in their name. That one's cute. Mountain chicken. What was that? Mountain chicken, and then it's a picture of a frog. The mother of them all, a frog that goes by the name Chicken. This endangered amphibian lives only in the Caribbean islands of Dominica and Montserrat, where it is hunted and eaten regularly by the locals thereof. Its popularity as a culinary dish is what earned it its befuddling alias. Oh, okay, because it tastes like chicken. That's still not what I was going for. Like, there's a specific one, and I don't know. But everyone is posting the same stupid ones. I mean, I guess the mountain chicken is funny. Well, I mean, I don't want to change that name, though. It's cute. I like it. It's killing me that I cannot find this, you guys. And it's right at the end of my video, so I don't even have time to continue researching it. I apologize. if you could think of an animal that has at least 2 words in it, and neither one of them makes any sense, let me know. Like, I'm sure bear cat was one of them because that was on both the list. I don't know what a bear cat is. I'll have to look that up. My bad.
And that is the end of Monster Hunter. Deviljho?
Deviljho.
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 He plays the game and he says he calls it Deviljho.
I think most people do.
Most people do. I got 5 hours and 42 minutes of footage, which is skewed because I totally screwed up. The very first color, I included that footage, so you'll see. But I don't think I miscounted. What happened was I haven't used that program. What was it? Cross Stitch Keeper, Stitch Keeper, whatever that program is, that app. I haven't used it since like the beginning of 2020, whatever was the last time I worked on 4 Heavenly Beasts. So it's been a long time. I was highlighting it wrong, and I completely skipped at least 2 rows entirely, or like I highlighted them and checked them off on accident. So, I mean, either way, it's still on me. It wasn't that I miscounted, it's that I used the pattern wrong, because I'm an idiot. I don't know. It's fine. It's whatever.
You're not an idiot.
What?
I checked.
You checked what?
That you're not an idiot.
Oh, I'm not an idiot. He's attracted to me, so he tells lies. Yeah, it's 7 o'clock, so there's no way I'm doing anything else. This is not as small as the Christmas cross stitches, so 1 a day. But I'm gonna try and do another one tomorrow. The patterns, I bought a 12-pack, and I think I'm gonna do all 12. So,
Yay, monster hunting.
yay, Monster Hunter.
That's the game where we killed the laser dragon.
Yeah, he and Scott were killing a really pretty blue dragon, and I had to turn away because I can't watch that. It's not okay. You shouldn't kill dragons. You should befriend them. Nice thumbs up. I love it.
But they're worth loot, so.
No. Befriend them. Have them kill other monsters for you. Like this thing. It looks like a T-Rex in the game. It doesn't look like a T-Rex here, but...
He's got a tail and like little legs and his spirally thing and then this big...
Honestly, I don't understand how he works here.
Well, they always have that little spirally pattern thing.
Oh, that's not like his tail?
No.
Oh, okay.
His tail's the big spiky thing on the right.
And he has 1 leg.
Yeah, well, it's a side view, so, you know, he has 2 legs, but you can only see one because they are perfectly aligned.
You know what? I used to draw things that way, so yeah. It makes sense. Sure.
Don't judge me.
It's weird. David was showing me videos of this guy earlier, though, and he suplexes other things, and it was pretty awesome. So, that's all I have. I am on chapter 63 of 66 for Morningstar by Pierce Brown, which is the final book in the Red Rising trilogy. I think there's like 6 books total. I don't know how much of a sequel it is, but... And I'm just like, I need to finish it. So I'm gonna try and finish it tonight. I'm not good at listening to audiobooks when I'm not cross-stitching though. So it might have to wait till tomorrow. We'll see. I'm gonna try. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that jazz. And I'll see you guys next video.